Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is another paid request, this time from Predminator, who wanted me to do another commentary for Predator 2. So, 3, 2, 1, pressing play. As we get the 20th Century Fox logo. I say another because I didn't realize, looking on my channel, I've actually done 3 commentaries before on this film. I did one with my friends Mike and Effrey. I did one where it's during a stream. I did one about 3 years ago. But, I mean, I love the film, so I'm fine with talking about it again. But, yeah, I love Predator 2. I think it's a very underrated sequel. It's relentlessly paced. I think it brought a lot of new toys to the Predator character. I think it has a great cast. I think it was a sequel that still stuck to a formula but made it different enough so it was its own movie, as we're in the future 1997. And I thought Stephen Hopkins, the director, who does much better than his last film, M3 I think he made the right choice of the first film was a slow burn. It introduced the Predator, what it can do, what it looks like. By this point, people know what the Predator can do. People know the character. They know what it looks. There's no suspense, surprise, so get right into it. And here it is, a minute and a half into it, and we're in an action scene. As we're in... Well, actually, this is stuff that happened 2 months ago during the riots, so... Yeah, this is just stock footage from that. But you have the Danes versus the cops mixed in with this news footage that, again, you probably saw this like a month ago during the riots, the same type of thing. But yeah, that's one of the things I love about the film is I love the city environment. It made it different and unique. And it fit. You had a jungle, now you have the urban jungle. The cast, I think Danny Glover was a different, unique, and overall badass choice. He pulled it off very effectively, in my opinion. We'll see soon. Here we get into the line. This guy. You fucking pendejos. But I mean, the first Predator is a classic. It was pretty much Arnold going, hey, James Cameron did Aliens. Can I be a part of anything like that? And join Predator. That came out in 1987, was a good size hit. And to me, one of Arnold's best films. So after that, there was talk of making a sequel. Arnold did not want to come back because A, he does not like the city choice. He still says the city choice was a bad idea, which I don't understand. Here's Morton Downey as the reporter, sleazy reporter, trying to get the more blood, more guts, more mutilation. But yeah, when Arnold didn't want to do it, so, I mean, this is the same year that Total Recall came out. And then Arnold, after that, did Terminator 2. There were talks of Patrick Swayze, but he got hurt during Roadhouse, so he didn't do the film. Swayze would have done a really good job. I mean, part of me would like to have seen the alternate universe where Patrick Swayze starred as this character. That would have been really interesting to see. Steven Seagal apparently wanted to do it, but from what I hear, Stephen Hopkins vetoed that idea. Which is funny enough, Steven Seagal did another film in 1990, Marked for Death, which also dealt with Jamaican drug dealers. Because then I heard another story when it was either on the set of Submerged or Attack Force, maybe Submerged. Seagal brought out a copy of Predator 2 and said, let's make a movie like this. So something about him and Predator 2 is this weird link. Now that guy talking there, he was Danny Glover's captain in the Lethal Weapon movies. But we have Maria Conchita Alonso, we got Ruben Blades, a multinational cast in this. I mean, think about this. All these people today that talk about PC and equal rights and how they prop that up into such a pedestal. No one did it for this when it came out. You have a black lead, then you have Ruben Blades, Maria Conchita Alonso. I mean, multinational cast. But you know what? They didn't put in your face. They were just characters. And then Danny Glover being a badass here, using... Even the Predator noticed it. This is one of the things many things I like about the film is you start noticing this connection between Danny Glover and the Predator, where the Predator starts noticing things Danny Glover does. And it keeps building up where the Predator starts to, in a weird way, respect Danny Glover's character. Keeps watching him. Like when he gives him the memento and Ruben Blades near his graveside at the cemetery. Or in the meat locker, as I call it, he turns and realizes Danny Glover, and he's like, fuck Gary Busey, I'm gonna go after Danny Glover. These guys got all the guns. I never understood why Arnold had such a problem with the city aspect. I don't know why he thought it only has to work in a jungle setting. Again, I have no idea. It makes no sense to me. To me, it was a natural progression. Unlike Predators, which just felt like a carbon copy. There you go. Look at this. Danny Glover just blowing the shit out of these people with a shotgun. I'm sorry, you ever seen like that and people want to tell me Danny Glover is not badass? Give me a fucking break. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, seriously. Well, the Predator and Predators are so much better. Kiss my ass. I mean, on one hand, you have a right to your opinion, and that's my sincere part of me. The other part of me is like, kiss my ass. This movie's a lot better than Predators and The Predator, The Fuckinator. But I mean, take that if you bad. I'm just kind of kidding, joking with that. I'm not kidding that this is way better than those, but I'm kidding like, if you like those other ones, that's fine. To me, all the ones after this were fucking shit. And it's just funny how so many people like Robert Rodriguez, they want to make it seem as if Predator 2 doesn't exist. I mean, technically Jay Busey and the Predator, but still, who plays Gary Busey's son, but still. Maybe they should learn some stuff from this book. But this film didn't do anything when it came out. It came out November 21st of 1990. And did nothing at the box office. Did absolutely nothing. Was a big bomb. Probably because they looked at it and they said, wait, Arnold's not in it? Pass. Which to me is foolhardy, in my opinion. I mean, I could kind of understand that sentiment on one hand, to be fair, because it's like you make a sequel to a Jim Carrey film with no Jim Carrey in it. It's just, to me, this is so much of a better film than that kind of stuff. And then it just subscribes to the fact when, Alien 3, there was talks of Ripley not coming back, Story Weaver not coming back. And the others go, no, you need Ripley. Which sadly, that's probably the truth. To them, they feel they needed Ripley. Otherwise, if they just had someone else, it would have flopped like this film did. But I mean, just crazy that you have this film, and so far in its first 10 minutes, it's just been action. I mean, action, explosions, gunfire, crooks getting killed, cops getting killed. shotgun fun. I mean, if you're an action junkie, how can you not get into this film? I don't understand. And I bought Danny Glover as my character in Hook, Line, and Sinker. Very nice stonework from a high place. Probably into a safety pad. We did a little bit of establishment that he's not the best at heights, which plays off later in the film. So it's like setting it up for later on. The sweat stains, because they keep talking about how it's been so hot here, and heat and conflict is where the Predator journeys towards. So it made sense that people would sweat. If it didn't sweat, people would bitch that it was the sweating. The Predator's like, see you around. Kind of how I took it. I'll see you around. Which the Predator does. He's like, wow, this guy can see me. Let's see where this goes. Now let me watch like a peeping Tom. Got it down here, Danny boy. Got it down from here. There you go. But yeah, Stephen Hopkins had done a couple films before this, including Elm Street 5, which was a pile of trash. After this, he did films like Judgment Night, which was pretty good. He did The Ghost in the Darkness, which was so-so. But this is definitely Stephen Hopkins' best film. Hands down, in my opinion. And this is a movie that deserves a lot more love. I mean, to this day, still does not get the love it deserves. I mean, this is a movie that just, again, criminally underrated, in my opinion. Absolutely underrated. It's ridiculous. Nice bloody aftermath of these bodies, showing that the Predator cleaned house. Literally paint the walls red. And they're wondering what the fuck happened. What the hell could have done this? Which I'm actually fine that it's an aftermath, because we get to see quite a bit of this stuff later on. But here it can make your mind paint what the hell happened in this room. I mean, if it was a movie that was completely bloodless, then yeah, it could be a valid complaint, but you do get to see the Predator kick a lot more ass later on with the Jamaican drug gangs and Peter T's people and Agent T's, stuff like that. Like the T people hanging around. There you go. Now, of course, Danny Glover at this time, he had been successful with the Lethal Weapon films, and he was also in films like Witness, The Color Purple, but he was in Lethal Weapon films, but he wasn't known as an action guy, and this was sort of, again, a very different role for Danny Glover. That's why I don't understand people go, he just plays Murtaugh. No, he doesn't. This is a completely different character to play to Murtaugh. People will say that. They haven't even seen Lethal Weapon then, because Murtaugh is more of the calmer guy. This is almost like Danny Glover playing a little bit of the Martin Riggs character. I mean, hell, he's more Martin Riggs than fucking Murtaugh in this movie, with how crazy against authority is. And, you know, that renegade character. Of course, there's Robert Davi, a character actor who's been in a lot of stuff. He was in Maniac Cop 2, Maniac Cop 3. I mean, Sally's not in the film too much, but it's still nice to see Robert Davi there. Don't let this get out, but it's a fucking war zone down here. And there's Agent T's people coming in to the helicopter with a goddamn good explanation. And then you have Alan Silvestri coming back to do the score. And the score has warmed up for me. I remember in the beginning, I'm like, I don't know about the score, about the little Jamaican beats to it, but I still prefer the first score. But this is still a pretty damn good score. I mean, I've warmed up to it. Compared to a lot of music and a lot of scores, whether it be in other Predator films or AVP films or films in general, this is a pretty good score. And there's Gary Busey. Speaking of Lethal Weapon. Interestingly, Lethal Weapon, you got Danny Glover, you got Gary Busey. I mentioned you had the captain for Lethal Weapon. But Gary Busey, by this point, I'm trying to remember if this was before or after his motorcycle accident. But I mean, after this, he would be in Point Break, and before this, he was in, I mentioned Lethal Weapon, he was in, what's that movie? The Buddy Holly story. That was years and years before this. But then showcasing the ruckus of LA with all the graffiti. So I'm just witnessing the police station chaos going on. Now this guy here, he always looked like one of the bad guys you fight in the game Final Fight. Like the beat 'em up Final Fight where you're either Cody or Hagar. He's one of the punks you fight on the streets. And of course we have Bill Paxton, may he rest in peace. I miss Bill Paxton. Always enjoyed him as an actor. Whether it be in Twister, whether it be in Aliens, Near Dark, goes on and on. I mean, miss Bill Paxton. Did a wonderful job in this. Now this guy here who plays the captain, he would be in the Return of the Living Dead Part 3 as the lead guy's father who's in the military. Kip McCord, I think is his name. I could be wrong. But yeah, he was in Return of the Living Dead Part 3 after this. And that's another thing I liked of the various things. I love the lines of dialogue. That means you're cutting off my dick, you're shoving up my ass. Just very colorful, fun language that's unique to this film. And again, Danny Glover just is the MVP of the movie. But it's relentless pace. It is such a fast-paced movie, man. And just, to me, it's a cool movie even without the Predator. The Predator just makes it that much more cooler. And I know apparently there was an NC-17 version of this film. And apparently when someone saw the NC-17 version, they puked. Now, this is what the editor Mark Goldblatt said. Because Mark Goldblatt, who he edited Rambo 2, he worked with James Cameron a lot, edited some of his films. He helped edit this film. And Mark Goldblatt also directed The Punisher with Dolph Lundgren, among others. There's an interview with Mark Goldblatt where he mentions, they asked him about Predator 2. He said it was fun editing the film. He talked about showing the film with NC-17. Then the someone puked. And he says that James Cameron saw and he liked the movie. I mean, James Cameron's also the same guy that said he liked AVP when that came out. And then he said he liked, Terminator Genesis when that came out. So I can't believe James Cameron's saying anything. What? No, he didn't. No, there's an Ain't It Cool news article from back in the day where he was interviewed written interview, and James Cameron said, "Oh, I liked AVP. I didn't think it was that bad." And then when Terminator Genesis came out, wow, it was like I watched the first movie again. Now he says it's shit. So it just again he's changing his fucking story. But yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to know what was cut out. I mean, we'll never see the footage, but I don't even know like what was cut out for NC-17. Like what specifically was cut out. Maybe Jack Craven knows. I don't know. Jack Craven seems like he knows everything. At least I think he does. But yeah, Bill Patch is pretty much trying to get his pipe in. And Maria Conchita Alonso ain't having it. Wee. And people say there's no strong females in movies. You play that cowboy shit with me, you can tease this. Goodbye. And you never get away with characters saying those kind of lines. Is that bitch on the rag or what? If you try to say that now, you'd be too misogynistic. I always thought this was a nice little scene where Danny Glover's introducing Bill Paxton's character to his world. His, well, as he says, welcomes him to the war. And this is where I steal this line all the time. You know, the door swings both ways. Remember, door swings both ways. I've stolen that for the longest time. I say that all the time. And I'm sure people are like, what the fuck is he talking about? Well, it's a reference to this film. Welcome to the war. And now you got some sex. That's definitely something you didn't get a lot of in the first Predator. You did not get a lot of titties. Sex and titties. But you got in this. I mean, you have people hung upside down, and this is probably a scene that was cut down from the NC-17. I'm guessing NC-17 version, you actually saw them take the heart out of this guy. And they do just magic. Fucking voodoo magic, man. Fucking voodoo magic. A message for Teen Willie. Your fucking history, man. That's okay, Steven Seagal will come by to tell you guys later. If the Predator didn't do it, Steven Seagal would go and do it. For all I know, Marked for Death is in the same universe as this movie. Might be. But yeah, but pretty much the whole gist is that they're supposed to take this guy's heart out. That's orders given by Teen Willie. Apparently taking his heart out would take his soul. But again, I'm guessing you actually saw the heart literally get taken out. They don't fucking voodoo magic, man. I tell you what, I believe shit happens. That Predator's gonna have some fun now. There you go. And again, it's one of the things that's cool about this movie. Again, the various things introduces a lot more Predator weapons and toys to play with. I mean, yeah, you got the shoulder cannon. That's not fucking automated like the Predator said. But you got, this net gun that just sears right into your skin like this. That's a pretty cool thing. You got these blades that shoots into people's heads. That's a really cool thing. You got of course, the gauntlet. Well edited too. Shows that the Predator definitely handles his business. Then you got the spear coming right about here. There you go. Boof. And you're like, fuck, how many toys does he have? And it just shows like he could take care of business, man. I mean, he took care of these guys here like there was nothing. He'll take care of cops as if they're nothing. And then he'll take care of Agent T's people as if they're nothing. But yeah, 1990 was a great year for movies because you had films from Die Hard 2 to Jacob's Ladder to Child's Play 2, Total Recall. This is the year they tried releasing films like Dick Tracy and I was top of my head now, damn it. Ghost with Patrick Swayze. Tremors, that's 1990. First Ninja Turtles film in March of 1990. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, a lot of great movies in 1990. I mean, I don't have the full list, but I'm just thinking of stuff off the top of my head. Also interesting choice that pretty much all the guns have laser sighting. I didn't look at like each handgun, there's some type of laser sighting. Which is fun, which is a nice idea because it makes it look a little bit futuristic even though it's not. Because again, it's 1990, this film came out, it's supposed to take place in 1997. Which was a strange choice. Part of me wonders why they did that anyway. Like, why did it take place in 1997 when it came in 1990? I do wonder why they did that. Because no one's really going to think, wait a minute, there's no current Jamaican wars, going on in LA? No one would have cared. They just would have thought it was a movie. But, some nice skin bodies, man. Interesting, you don't see the one guy skinned because the Predator did not kill him. That's why that body's not skinned. See, it's those little bits of detail that people miss but I appreciate. A lesser writer, director, just Jim and John Thomas, who wrote the first one, wrote this. And like I said, Stephen Hopkins directed it. They would have bypassed that, but again, that's why the one guy that died from the Jamaicans, he's not skinned. Because again, the Predator did not kill him. Since the Predator did not kill him, why would he take his skin as a trophy? And yes, it's trophies, not fucking spinal fluid. Which, why the fuck would they take the skin if they want fucking spinal fluid? Well, it's on top of that, man. It's both. Well, you know what? This whole spinal fluid, well, they want that's bullshit. Why the fuck do they care to be part human when a predator is stronger, faster, and smarter than a human? But they want something of us to improve themselves? What, to learn how to piss in the snow? or to watch episodes of Jackass and Jerry Springer. Just fucking stupid. Predator is stronger to lift Arnold up with one hand and not be hurt by Arnold's punches, and to take multiple shotguns and get up, which Danny Glover shoots the Predator like 4 or 5 times. There's Adam Baldwin, who has no connection to the Baldwins. He's not related to Stephen Baldwin or Alec Baldwin. That's Adam Baldwin, who is the cohort of Gary Busey's character. Adam Baldwin, he's been in a lot of stuff. He was in Full Metal Jacket. I would say that's the biggest film he's been in, was Full Metal Jacket. He was in a smaller role in Independence Day in 1996. There've been quite a few films, Adam Baldwin. But I do wonder how many people mistake the fact because his last name's Baldwin, they just think he's part of the Alec Baldwin family. But yeah, this is one of those that would be nice to see the extended like scenes, the unrated cut, but you'll never see it. Oh, we could get an assembly cut of Alien 3, but we can't get anything for Predator 2. Oh, we could get all these footage from Alien 3, and then we cleaned it up for the Blu-ray, but again, we can't do anything for Predator 2. And it's the same fucking company, Fox. But, I mean, if Stephen Hopkins became as successful as David Fincher, maybe that would have happened. Maybe. Because Fox wanted to kiss David Fincher's ass, probably. Even though he doesn't like Alien 3 either. Well, the guy did Panic Room and Fight Club, and maybe we could suck his dick or something. Luck is my specialty. I'm sure it is. I bet it is. There you go. Go damn, Lone Ranger. But yeah, this film bombed and bombed badly, and that's why you did not have a Predator film until Predators in 2010. I mean, that was 20 years. I mean, it was 3 years from 87 to 90, Predator 2, but then 20 years from Predator 2 to Predators, and then they pretty much ignored Predator 2 as if it didn't exist. Yeah, again, another thing I liked about this film is Stephen Hopkins, the way he works with the camera. Like, he did this high shot, let him enter frame. We have this crane come on down to get onto the level, almost if maybe that's the Predator's point of view, but then here we are cascading the camera down as showcasing where Ruben Blades is going to. And lo and behold, we have shots where the camera's not fucking constantly shaken as if it's just a person holding it. Buy some fucking tripods or something, or stuff like this. It's like to have the camera stay still and not, if it goes somewhere, it's fluid. Not making me get a fucking headache because you keep bobbing, even if it's slightly. But yeah, Predators was such a piece of fucking shit. I mean, I remember when that came out in 2010, I thought it was fucking lame. I do remember my friend Mike OCP. I won't let him live it down. When he first saw that film, I remember he messaged me, and he said that Predators was on par or maybe better than Predator 2. I won't let him live him down. Of course, I'm the guy that first saw Cop Out and thought, wow, Cop Out's a really good movie. Because I wanted to like it, because I like Bruce Willis and Kevin Smith. At least more so at the time, and I didn't want to admit that it was so disappointing. Although Tracy Morgan's the most annoying fucking part of that movie for me, but Cop Out's not a good film. But I know Mike, he's not a fan of this because he saw this film years later, and he has a rant on his channel on Predators. I mean, he loves this film, Predator 2, but I mean Predators 2010. He has a rant on his channel, Predators, What he says I agree with. Like Adrian Bidnose Brody, horrible as a fucking lead. See, Danny Glover worse as the lead in this. Adrian Brody did not. With his Popeye, the Sailor Man muscles, his big fucking nose that you hang a fucking hook or a goddamn chandelier on. His fucking Christian Bale wannabe Batman voice. The game is off with the game. You're the game. What, you Triple H? No triple preparation H? Then doing almost the same fucking movie as the first film, even having Long Tall Sally in the fucking film, only at the end credits. And person in mud, come on, kill me, do it here. Oh, but there's 3 predators. Yeah, they get their acid hits so fucking easily. It takes more effort to get this one predator in this film dead than the 3 super predators, and go figure that out. I don't get that shit. Oh, because that movie sucks and this film doesn't. And then The Predator, that's a fucking laughing stock of a joke of a movie. The Predator, goddamn. Oh, let's have a fucking boy go out in a goddamn predator mask as a Halloween costume and accidentally murder someone. And whoops. I always thought this was really creepy and more effective than showing, because you hear the gunfights and this weird scream. Yeah, that weird creepy scream. Which I always wonder, what did that scream represent? Did it represent Ruben Blades like ripping out the spine of Ruben Blades, or affecting the guy's voice box while he ripped it out? Or was it the predator making that noise for some reason? And then part of me still wonders what the hell that noise represents, but it's a creepy fucking noise. And you will see that necklace again, because that's what the predator uses to with Danny Glover at the cemetery. But yeah, we didn't need to see Ruben Blades get killed. That to me was just as effective. And made it creepier. Again, that made it actually creepier. The whole not seeing it, the screams, and that weird screech thing. There's Robert Davi once again. Where's that gonna stay out? He's the renegade cop. But yeah, you look at the characters and predators in The Predator, and then you look at Danny Glover in this, and you look at how intense Danny Glover is, how committed he is to the role and the performance, the energy he brings to it. Again, it's like he's the normal guy, but he's a badass. Just this scene coming up, no violence, no predator, just 2 people, and it's intense. I don't give a fuck who you really are. That was personal. He's a dead man. No. You know what you're dealing with. Stay the fuck out of my way. And there's that slap thing right here that like, that's an intimidation tactic. You just do like, right in front of someone's face. And that scene alone, name me anything Adrian Brody or fucking Boyd Holbrook do in Predators or The Predator that has any amount of character, any amount of badassness, any amount of intimidation that's close to what Danny Glover did in that scene. I mean, you tell me, because I can't think of any. Scorecard. Again, very sleazy television, definitely tabloid television, which was there at the time, and even nowadays you have that tabloid television. Again, it's like people just took a crap on Danny Glover because he wasn't Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm like, yeah, I get it. It's not Arnold Schwarzenegger, but look at what's there. What's there is really good. To the point, I've even put this above the first film as years have gone on. Because back to the, I'm like, I still love Predator. It's my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger film. But as the years keep going, I watch this more than the first one, only because while the first one is great, this one is even more fun to watch because of how relentlessly paced it is. Now, don't get the first Predator, the slow pace works for that kind of movie. The slow pace works for that kind of film. But as a guy who is a sucker for fast-paced movies, this is one that I get drawn more towards to. And because it's so underrated, it makes me want to root for it more in this hidden back of my brain. Now we have Gary Busey's men trying to set up a trap for the Predator, which we'll see later on, in order to capture and freeze it. Use this meat locker as bait. Pretty much one giant freezer. It's a goddamn town meeting. Or meeting, I should say. I was saying line from Aliens. Now, this lady who plays the examiner, two things about this lady. Number one, it's weird how in the trailer her voice is dubbed. I have no idea why. Number two, she's not dubbed in this movie, she's just dubbed in the trailer. But this actress, slasher fan, if you're a fan of slasher movies, you may recognize this woman from Silent Night, Deadly Night. She played the head nun who would beat little kids and who the bad guy tried to kill at the end of the movie. She plays the head nun in the first Silent Night, Deadly Night movie. I mean, she's been in other stuff, but that's the idea. If you're a slasher movie fan, it's like, she looks familiar. If you've seen Silent Night, Deadly Night, you've seen her. So pretty much it's our character's first inkling. If I learn how to talk, that's not the way you say that word. Your first inkling of something foreign about what's going on here, or dare I say alien. Shitty looking zebra car. I wouldn't be surprised if this gets fucking shit on. Oh, it's politically incorrect. Jamaican people, they only showcase them as ganja smoking drug dealers. We're the Jamaican politicians and Jamaican doctors. Well, there's a black man who's a lead. But, I mean, that's a nice shot of the Predator overlooking the city. And even that shot, which may seem like it's a waste, it actually, when you watch it again, it makes sense. The Predator staring at Bill Paxton, because then it makes you go, okay, that's why. Well, actually, no, that doesn't happen yet. But, he does watch Bill Paxton, which may lead to later on why he goes after them on the subway train. He's not just watching Danny Glover, he's watching his crew, his people as well. But then he goes on to follow Danny Glover. And that's the thing, like, as many times as I've seen this, I pick on stuff. I pick up on stuff that people like, it's not there, Matt. I'm like, it is there. Like this whole deal that the Predator is stalking our main character. The Predator is a stalker in this. He follows Danny Glover wherever the fuck he goes. Like, he kills Danny Glover's buddy. He follows Danny Glover here and will kill, I was going to say Screwface, but that's marked for death. Teen Willie, which this actor, he was actually in Coming to America. He had a big role in it, but he was in Coming to America. The Spear World. To kill what can't be killed. I mean, even Danny Glover's outfits, which are bit not really the typical outfit you would see of a hero, but I mean that makes him a little bit more unique. That's what I like about Danny Glover. He's not the typical fucking hero, and I still buy him. Oh, I don't buy Danny Glover doing this. Why? Why do people think it has to be some muscle-bound guy to fight the Predator? I don't understand that. I mean, when the movie establishes that he is a cop who, I didn't. You can't. Sometimes you really can't make people happy. Sometimes, they ask for not every action hero to be muscle bound. Have someone look more ordinary. But then if someone look more ordinary, then they bitch and go, "Why can't it be a guy with muscles and shit?" As he's talking to Teen Willie here. Well, he's leaving now. Prepare yourself what? A dinner? A meal? Prepare yourself, I don't know. Prepare some pizza. Just order some Pizza Hut. But see, the Predator was watching the whole time, and now he tripped something so it fell. Well, I best go down and make an acquaintance. I did. He's stalking Danny Glover. Wherever the fuck Danny Glover goes, this guy follows. Because he knows there's something up with this individual. Although I doubt this fight with Team Willie was really much of a fight. Did an interesting reveal of the head. Again, I wonder with NC-17, maybe this was more graphic of him cleaning this head. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you saw more of this. Yeah, again, I don't know, and I bumped the microphone. I mean, it's nice that he's got this toolkit just to clean up skulls. Even got a buffer. Buff your shoes, buff your skulls. Well, this is in the Predator ship. And that's actually the skull that Danny Glover sees later on. The skull of Teen Willie. But yeah, I was mentioning the Predator is a fucking complete other joke. I mean, I did a review of The Predator. I even did a review. What more can I say about The Predator? I mean, it's a goddamn joke. And what's funny, Shane Black, in a documentary I saw recently, tells about he doesn't like Arnold saying stick around, but he's fine with directing a film where Thomas Jane says fuck me with an aardvark. So even Shane Black don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I didn't even mention the AVP movies for good reason. I mean, Alien vs. Predator I saw in the theater and it was disappointing. Has one decent fight between the Predator and Alien where the Alien kills like 2 Predators by himself. But the Predators look like they're fucking fat asses. Aliens look good. The humans suck. One with his goddamn bottle cap Coca-Cola bottles. One who I broke a nail dead weight lead actress. Sana Latham. Look like she's fucking lost throughout the entire film. AVP Requiem. I have to watch it. Of course, watching the other animals that's been hunted. And his head is among them as if he'll be soon one of the hunted. Now I'm just wondering, maybe that could have been the sequel to Hard Target. Crossover between that and Predator. I mean, Hard Target, you had humans that wanted to hunt him. Don't hunt what you can't kill. Now the Predator hunts them in the Hard Target 2. Hard Target 2, Blood Oath, or something like that. I don't know. I did another further enhancing the Predator mythology that Predator's able to notice it's a fake gun, so there's no sport. It's not worth my time. Get the fuck out of my way, kid. Want some candy? He's stalking Danny Glover, I'm telling you. Now he's watching him. Again, I like that idea that no one ever brings up. Anytime someone talks about this film, no one ever brings up the, to me, interesting fact. An idea that the Predator is actually stalking Danny Glover throughout this film. Ever since he first sees it at the beginning. I have a feeling someone could turn this into like a romance trailer where the Predator stalks Danny Glover because he wants some Brokeback Mountain. And this, like, if you had this scene, but you had like love music, it's like, you know, well, it's aside from Danny Glover pulling out his gun. Or maybe it's like Single White Female or Fatal Attraction. I don't want your predator love juices. I know you're a pussy face, but I don't mean you're a pussy I want to fuck. But yeah, this is an interesting idea, like the Predator leaving this memento for Danny Glover's character. As in, accept my challenge. I'm coming for your ass. It is an interesting motif. Now we're in the subway. And I'm not kidding when I keep saying relentless pace, because we have like 50, if you take away the end credits, like 50 minutes to go. And you got all the stuff that happens with the subway. Predator killing people left and right. Fight between him and Bill Paxton. Then Danny Glover chasing the Predator, dealing with Agent T's. Predator killing all of T's men. And then this long, in a good way, long battle between the Predator and Danny Glover. And the only time it stops for exposition is doing it in a manner that's not boring. Gary Busey explaining a bit of the Predator, but saying it in lines like, the lions, the tigers, the bears, oh my. And then interesting that every fucking person has a gun. It's like, I mean, this is LA, so it'd be like New York. Everyone has a gun. I know people don't like the blinking lights, but it doesn't bother me too much as it does others. Maybe I've gotten used to it. I don't know. But fucked his neck up. I mean, it makes it a little bit unique. And even then, I can still understand what's going on. I can understand that the Predator lifted this guy up, his arms and legs are flailing. And the people are shooting, but they can't see shit. And that's the point. The point is that they can't see shit. Damn, slam his ass right. Why didn't Jason Voorhees do this in Jason Takes Manhattan when he was on the subway train? He got shot. Predator didn't even get him. Yeah, you get up to Bill Paxton's Last Stand. Then Grace music by Alan Silvestri. And here was going to lead to him being killed by a Terminator. Although, to be truthful, people say that, but we never saw him die to a Terminator in the first film. That's what people kind of forget. He's in the first Terminator, but we only see Brian Thompson get killed and punched. We never see, I never assumed Bill Paxton died. He just gets thrown back. But I guess we're to assume that character died in the Terminator. They kind of just gets pushed back, but this is Brian Thompson who gets punched a hole in his chest. And then the third guy takes his clothes off. But he does get killed by a xenomorph. But yeah, a lot of people have issues with the whole blinking lights. I guess if you have epilepsy, it won't help. But I did. Maybe I'm used to it, or it just doesn't bother me. But yeah, just the movie just goes and goes and goes, and not in a bad way. Gives you your money's worth, I'll tell you that. Again, I just never understood the hate for this film. Never did, never will. Found delight, delight. Deplane, boss, deplane. Don't go back there. Guy's deader than shit. Rest in peace, Mr. Bill Paxton. Like I say, he's a good actor. Weird Science. And what was the film he was in? The Vagrant. I mentioned Twister. He was in Titanic. Been a lot of movies, man. Frailty is a good one, which he directed as well as starred in. A Simple Plan, that's another one. And of course, here soon we'll find out that Maria Conchita Alonso's character is pregnant, which is why the Predator does not kill her. Once again, showcase a bit more of the mythology of the Predator, that it kills for sport and not someone who can't defend themselves. I do kind of wonder where she got all that blood on her face, because she seemed pretty far away from what the Predator was doing his business, but maybe not. Maybe just with all the chaos. Now it's Danny Glover by himself. I'm trying to see if there's any trivia on the film. Pregnant. Well, I'll do that. I'll do a drink of water. With more time than the original. Pretty much because they have more time, Stan Winston, Steve Hopkins, and Lawrence G. Paul came up with ideas and designs for more exotic weapons. Later on, several of the hunting party Predator members were played by players from the LA Lakers. Schwarzenegger said no because he didn't like the new director or the new script, because he didn't like the city aspect. The subway attack scene was directly adapted from the first Predator comic book series. Oh, interesting. Kevin Peter Hall plays the Predator once again. The original storyline was going to be in New York City. Now, pretty much from here on out, to me, this is one long finale. Like, literally almost half of the film is your climax, which I actually find rather refreshing. I mean, I think of this whole thing as the climax is Danny Glover versus the Predator. Chasing the Predator down. Of course, the whole thing with teases people. More. Fuck you. Knocked him right the fuck out. That's a crowd pleaser moment. Definitely a crowd pleaser moment. Calvin Lockhart, that's the name of the actor who played Teen Willie. Let's see. Stephen Hopkins' first choice for Peter Keys was John Lithgow, but Joel Silver pushed for Gary Busey instead. Not a bad choice. Ice Cube's song Predator uses a sampling of the Jamaican gang leader's dialogue from Danny Glover's character. Oh, the Jamaican gang leader's talking to him. Huh, interesting. I did not know that. John McTiernan went on to do Hunt for Red October instead of this. Huh. That was a great shot. Him raising it, the lightning hitting it. Just a very unique shot. Stereotype pushing for Steven Seagal. Stephen Hopkins declined. I wonder if Stephen Hopkins ever mentioned why he declined. I mean, in retrospect, I'm glad, but just curious. Stephen Hopkins said Arnold refused a supporting role not because he didn't like the script, because he didn't want to postpone the film of Kindergarten Cop. Well, Stephen, maybe that's what he told you, but at one point, Arnold was going to lead a team to hunt down the Predator in Los Angeles, but Arnold disliked the script. You know, instead of all these fucking Terminator sequels, maybe he could have done Predator 3. That would have been interesting. There you go. The tigers. The bears. Oh my. You're the lion. This is the jungle. Again, you take this position, but you make it interesting by putting really good actors that to really have fun with the role and the dialogue, make it their own. And Gary Busey just sold the shit out of the role. He did a really good job. See, no one is sleepwalking through this. No one is like, oh, this is beneath me, so I'm not even going to care. I think that's what sometimes happens with movies like this, is that the actors think, oh, this is beneath me. Why should I give a shit? And then it's like, well, if you don't give a shit, then why should I give a shit? Pretty much Gary Busey on ball and telling Danny Glover, we set up a trap. We have an idea he sees an infrared, so we're masking it, and we're trying to find a way to trap him, freeze him, capture him. And to be perfectly honest, I love the first Predator. Danny Glover goes through I mean, he does a lot more to the Predator in the fight than Arnold does in the first movie, if you really think about it. It's pretty crazy, because it goes from the fight in the factory, then the fight on top, on the rooftop, and then cutting the Predator's arm off, and then chasing him all the way down the building to get to the Predator ship, and this one-on-one fight. That's probably the best fight someone has had with a Predator. I mean, like an actual fight. But I'm fine with that, because the first Predator is a different type of fight. That's more of a hunter fight, while this is more of a one-on-one fight. What I mean by that is, like, the first Predator, that's more of a hide-and-seek fight. Here, it's not a hide-and-seek fight, it's more of mano-a-mano fight using weapons and technology, while the hide and seek is more down the basics. Which it isn't. It's a good double feature because it's the same gist, but they become two different movies. It doesn't feel like the fucking Xerox copy, like The Force Awakens or Predators. I mean, again, Predators with Adrian Brody ends with there's a goddamn fire nearby. Your main character's in mud. He says, "Come on, kill me, do it now." What the fuck? I mean, be careful, you'll be dead to found footage land. Can you imagine that? A found footage Predator movie? Good grief. Got a found footage Predator movie? No thank you. It's like when they want to do a fucking found footage Friday the 13th movie. Apparently Adam Green, who did Hatchet and Digging Up the Marrow, they want New Line, I guess Paramount, New Line Cinema, whoever the fuck, said, hey, why don't you want to do a Friday the 13th film, but it's gotta be found footage. And Adam Green's like, what? Fuck that. So I do respect Adam Green for that. He just should not have made those shitty Hatchet films. But I mean, I like Frozen, Digging Up the Marrow and stuff that he did. So there's that, and his podcast's pretty good. Anyway, back to this. But yeah. But yeah, well, before I do that, here we get the different... You realize that the Predator can actually see in different illuminations of light, not just infrared. That's just usually the typical thing it does, but it can adapt. That the Predator realizes something is up. Which, I mean, all that tech is that account for something. And it's interesting, like, seeing the different types of stuff. There you go with the lights. But they did add stuff, Matt, later on. They added the Predator dogs. I never understood what the Predator says in that. Like when he looks at his hands, what does the Predator say? I can't understand what the fuck he says. It's time to die, or I don't know. I still don't understand what the fuck he says in that. But fuck, what was I going to say before? I don't even remember what the hell I was going to say before. Open the door, man. Here's another gray line coming up. Fuck yourself. I just want to tell that to anybody that pisses me off. Fuck yourself. And yeah, the Predator once again kicking some ass. They got Danny Glover gearing up for war. I'm trying. What the hell was I going to say before? I don't remember. Oh, but the new tech, they got Predator dogs. Yeah, who gave a fuck about Predator dogs? Why would they ever need dogs? Because hunters use dogs. Well, yes. But yeah, the Predators We're going to town on these guys with the spear. Lift your ass with the spear here. Get the fuck out of my face. Yeah, of course, he uses shoulder cannon. Here you go. See, that doesn't look fucking automated to me. Shane Black with the shoulder cannon. Just automatically going... Pew, pew. Looked like he had to fucking aim it himself. But what the fuck do I know, right, Shane Black? What would I have done with a Predator 3? Well, it depends if I had carte blanche, because this film didn't do well. So the studio was not really gung-ho to do another Predator film. Or they would go, unless Arnold did it. If Arnold said yes, then yeah, they would have done another Predator film. If Arnold actively went to Fox and said, I want to do another Predator movie, they would have done a Predator 3. Which, you know, instead of doing 18 fucking Terminator films, maybe you should have done something like that. Actually, I'll get back to that in a minute. Another cool shot coming up. Boom. Shakalaka. He knows this is Danny Glover based on the voice. That's who it is. I don't give a fuck about this guy. This is the guy who I want to fight. Now I'm going to have some fun. Now let's really let the battle begin. But they're back and forth. And that's fun, like they each get their back and forth with weaponry. Get some machine gun fun. Which fucks up the shoulder cannon. Alright, you asshole, I'll pay you back for that. I'm gonna shoot you. Get the bulletproof vest, and then he's let off a grenade launcher. Probably burns his ass. Again, they each get their hits in back and forth. He fucked up the Predator there. The Predator's going to get some payback. And it just shows how smart you Danny Glover, you being prepared just in case. Close call. Predator's on his ass, and he's got, again, another backup plan. With the shotgun fun going to be playing here. See, why would the Predator need human DNA to make it stronger? Look what the Predator can survive on its own. Yeah, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, what, like 9 shotgun shells? I did another just badass moment, just right in the Predator's stupid ass face. I mean, if the Predator survived that, then fuck does it need human DNA for? Yeah, this is a great moment for Danny Glover, pretty badass. And then, yeah, the scene come up where somehow the Predator knows the word motherfucker. I don't know how he knows that, unless he saw the first movie. I saw the first movie, that's how I know the line. I mean, in reference to the universe of the film, it doesn't make any sense. Like, how would Danny Glover would say motherfucker? How does it know the word motherfucker? But again, it's more like I read the script to the first movie, or I saw a copy of the first movie, so I know that's my line. Well, that's the line I'm gonna steal. But Predator 3, what would I do with Predator 3? If I had carte blanche, I would do the film. This was 1990. I would make, you know what? 1994 instead of 3, I'll wait 4 years. I would get to start Jean-Claude Van Damme. Because it'd be different from Arnold and it'd be different from Danny Glover. I would get Jean-Claude Van Damme, the star in it. It would be his follow-up to Time Cop. Because he would do Hard Target, then he would do Time Cop, and then Predator 3. Not fucking Street Fighter. Instead of Street Fighter, he does Predator 3, and I would take a page from... the Predator's drawn to heat and conflict, but I would try to bend that to just go with conflict. And so Van Damme is his prisoner in a prison in the middle of nowhere with murderers and rapists and thieves, and Van Damme's an innocent thrust into there. And so you have the Predator going after in this high-tech prison in the middle of nowhere. There you go. I wonder if that was cut down for NC-17. Probably more of Gary Busey being cut in half. But yeah, Van Damme in the middle of nowhere, like a prison facility, like a good version of Alien 3. Like, do a good version of Alien 3. The reason I say snow is to just be a different look and dynamic to a Predator film. The reason I say a prison is that, okay, who can the Predator fight? He fought commandos in the first movie, gang members in this. So I just figure, why not murderers, rapists, and thieves mixed in with, guards and so forth, in like a prison type of thing, environment. Like the Predator goes all around this prison hunting people, and I'm just saying, I'm still working on it, the idea. Not really, because it'll never get made. It wouldn't. This is like a hypothetical thing anyway. I'd rather watch that than, go back to the jungle again, get Adrian Brody and the guy from fucking That 70s Show. Because they thought that was a good choice for a Predator film. That 70s go Topher Grace. Playing a very obvious serial killer. Just from common sense, like, okay, you got all these murderers, you got all these specific killers, but then you got a doctor. Love the shot. Barely skips that. Back and forth. Again, this back and forth. Throws a spear. I shoot at you, you son bitch. You think you don't get away? Fuck that shit. Although Danny Glover's character he doesn't know how to use a spear. If Danny Glover knew how to use a spear, he could have just stabbed the Predator instead. We just knocked each other off the fucking rooftop. Oh, maybe he was trying to stab him, he slipped in a banana peel or something. trying to put a banana up the predator's tailpipe. But it does lead to this cool shot, like the predator just really laying into Danny Glover's arm. And of course, because we saw the first movie, we know where this is leading to. And you go, oh shit. Again, because we've seen the first film, we know that by doing this, it's going to destroy plentiful city blocks. And they do reference it a little bit in the previous scene with Gary Busey, explaining stuff to Danny Glover. But it's just cool, like that flying disc, and then Danny Glover being able to use it, and just look at this. Just cuts his fucking arm off. That's how bad. Look at this stunt. Look at this stunt. Sliding down, grabbing the thing. Oh shit. Again, this is such a satisfying sequel and satisfying finale. It is an actual back and forth battle between these two. I mean, again, how many times have you seen a battle and it ends too quickly or it ends too cheaply? That's not the case in this. And on top of that, you get scenes like this where you have the Predator showcasing more of his medical expertise. Like his little survival guide, like Medic Pack. And then this levity of Danny Glover, these fucking birds. That's all I need is these fucking birds. I would get lucky and fall. I mean, that'll be coming up a little bit. Maybe I'll get lucky and fall. As he slides down this thing. I think that line's coming up. Actually, no, yeah, after this little bit. But didn't show him more of the Predator technology, which, I'm sorry, this is more interesting to me than just having fucking... there you go. That would get fall. But this is more interesting than showing fucking dogs. Especially ones with dreadlocks like in The Predator. Because, you know, if predators have dogs, they too have to have dreadlocks as well. Because, you know, when I have a dog, you know, dogs have a beard like I do, and they have hair like I do. No one can tell that those are predator dogs, so make sure they have the same dreadlocks. And then even Adrian Brody's movie had dogs. Which, I don't know, I mean, maybe it could work if it was a more entertaining film. Maybe. At least in Adrian Brody's, but I don't know. It's sad that, like, how bad Adrian Brody's film is, and then it just got worse with Shane Black's. Black and Decker, their putrid collaboration. Rest in peace, Alice Trebek. I forgot they were watching Jeopardy, because you could hear the Jeopardy lingo, not lingo, the Jeopardy jingle. Rest in peace, Alice Trebek. That's the thing, like, someone should take, like, all the references to Jeopardy in movies and put them in, like, a supercut. Maybe someone has it, I didn't notice it. Does he have, like, White Man Can't Jump? Hell, this movie has a reference to Jeopardy. Oh, shit. Yeah, this ain't gonna feel at all. Again, interesting sound effects. Not only sound effects of the Predator, but when the needle goes in. And good effects by Stan Winston. I haven't even mentioned Stan Winston. I mean, Kevin Peter Hall, he comes back to play the Predator. And he did a great job utilizing the suit and the body language of the Predator. I'm a cop. I don't think he gives a shit. See, Shane Blatt, that's how you do humor in these movies. That's how you do humor and levity. It's funny, but it's not fucking fuck me with an aardvark and your mom's vagina is E for everyone. Ridiculous. Rob Zombie wannabe claptrap. As it gives you the fucking clap and then you feel trapped like your dick's trapped in a fucking cage. Want to get out and fucking burns and hurts. That's what the Predator is. But yeah, Kevin Peter Hall was a wonderful suit performer. He also played Harry and the Hendersons. Passed away way too soon. And then yeah, Stan Winston did a wonderful job creating effects for this and the first Predator. And Stan Winston, I mean, he worked on Aliens, he directed Pumpkinhead. I mean, just a master of his craft, Stan Winston. Terminator 2. That shot before where he's hanging from the hole is an interesting shot. Makes you wonder like how exactly they did that. See, even the DVD Blu-ray, the special edition, I still think more could have been done. I mean, there's two commentary tracks. The tracks with the writers I was really big on. A full documentary. A documentary would have been nice on this movie. I mean, look at the set design. Such a cool set design of the Predator ship. Like these almost hieroglyphic type of designs on the walls. Give it an alien feel. Gives a unique look to it, and that shimmering of the light gives it a certain mood. Plus with the fog. Really helps bring the set to life. And that's what some people don't realize when they do sets like this. Getting the lights glimmering as if it's almost breathing. And again, the fog. There's a mood. Thankfully, Danny Glover's got that weapon. And then the trophy room. And yes, that is Xenomorph right on there. Some weird T-Rex thing. See, wait, there we go. The weird T-Rex. This is Xenomorph. And Danny Glover's looking, and Teen Willie. There's Teen Willie's head. And it's great back and forth, like this neck gun just cutting into. Fuck this. I didn't like he dodged the spear, he dodged the neck gun. Think about like all the toys the Predator's using, Danny Glover surviving. He got shot with the projectile. Bulletproof vest saved him. The neck gun, he got out of it. The spear, he dodged it. It's like, and then this Danny Glover's taken this weapon and used it against the Predator. So it's like throughout this battle, the Predator's weapons have been more and more erased during this battle. I didn't even think about that till now. Again, that's another cool thing. Think about each part as the battle rages on. The Predator's weapons disintegrate in a way Then Danny Glover dodges the spear. And then, not only that, cuts off the net guns, the net. Now here, uses the weapon right at Predator's old weapon against himself. Playing possum, playing dead. Outwitting. That's right. Shit happens. Here you go. Nice. Took a good chunk of it out too. How is that not badass? Come on now. That's fucking badass. More badass than anything fucking Boyd Holbrook did. Boyd Holbrook's wannabe badass. But that's just what he is, a wannabe. I did not, I forgot to mention this, but one fuck up they did during this fight. There are times where the Predator sees Danny Glover in infrared. And there's no reason, because it doesn't have the mask on. Now, it can see different, because I remember when it took the mask off to face Arnold, but it seemed like with the mask is how you could see infrared, but it was showing that without the mask, so that's a little fuck up they did. And like a little nitpick. Again, it should have been seen, not, again, should have been different than before. It's like they forgot that it's not the Predator's eyes that show infrared, it's the mask. But if you look back on the fight again, when the Predator's looking at Danny Glover, is seen in infrared, which makes no sense because, again, the mask wasn't on. Who's next? Again, interestingly, you have all these different Predators, and look at the different designs and looks. So these are the LA Lakers playing the Predators. Makes sense because you want lean but tall, muscular bodies for the Predator. Not the fucking chunky asses that was in Paul Wildstalion Anderson's AVP films. And showcasing the honor system. It's interesting. Look at that. Imagine that. A sequel that strengthens the mythology without butchering the original film. Doesn't make it so that the original film didn't exist. It doesn't kill off the main hero of the first film. It doesn't make the first film pointless. It just builds upon the world, builds upon the mythology, and tells a fun, entertaining, escapism story. Imagine that! So you don't have to make a sequel like Alien 3. You don't have to do it like The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi and The Predator. But I always thought this was a really cool shot. Boom. And of course, yes, I know that's similar to when Arnold was running away. Only that was the self-destruction. Here it's the shuttle taking off. So it's not quite the same. It's similar. But again, this has enough of its own life to it that it becomes, to me, its own movie. I mean, Danny Glover went through a lot of shit. I wish, someone to really sit down and talk to him about Predator 2. I wish. Once in a blue moon, he'll mention something maybe in a Q&A, But I mean, like, really just full on talk about all this stuff. Because I remember there was a Q&A for Aliens and Bill Paxton was on it. And then Danny Glover, I guess he was walking by and said hi to Paxton. But I think he said like a line like, I guess we're getting too old for this shit. But I wish there's like right there some connection to Predator 2. But anyway, when Danny Glover's still with us, be nice to, what do I know though? But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, why do I love this film so much? The pacing, the cast, the all the stuff I've been talking about in this commentary. Everything and then some. I loved Danny Glover's character. Loved the action. Loved the mano-a-mano fights. Alice Silvestri's score has definitely grown on me. Love the city location. Just everything about it is super satisfying. Like, this is how you make a sequel. You take the first film, that was a slow burn, let's go right in on the action. Let's make a different hero, but still a badass hero. Similar vein, do the same thing, but do it differently. And it did that. That and then some is why, to me, this is the most underrated sequel of all time. And that's Predator 2. So with that said, thanks once again to Predminator. Take care, guys. And we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.